ಆಚರಿಸಲಾಯಿತು. ಒಂದೇ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ, ಒಂದೇ ಗಡಿ, ಒಂದೇ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಗೀತೆ, ಒಂದೇ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಧ್ವಜ, ಒಂದೇ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ಚಿಹ್ನೆ, ಇದು ನಿಜವಾದ ಭಾರತ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ. ಇಂತಹ ಮಹತ್ತರವಾದ ಈ ದಿನ 75ನೇ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಅಮೃತ ಮಹೋತ್ಸವದಲ್ಲಿ 74ನೇ ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸವಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾಲಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಇಂತಹ ಮಹತ್ವದ ಉದ್ದೇಶವಾಗಿ ಮೈಸೂರು ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಸಂಶೋಧನಾ ಹಾಗೂ ವಿಸ್ತರಣಾ ಕೇಂದ್ರವು ಸಂವಿಧಾನಾತ್ಮಕ ಆಶಯ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯದ 75 ವರ್ಷಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಎನ್ನುವ ವಿಶೇಷ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸವನ್ನು ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು, ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವ ನನ್ನ ಹೃದಯ ಸ್ಪರ್ಶಿ ಆತ್ಮೀಯರಿಗೆ ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಾಗತ, ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ.
My love for my nation is boundless. My love for my people is endless. All I deserve for happy 74th Republic Day to all of you. 75th anniversary of Indian independence, University of Mysore, Dr. B. Ambedkar Research and Extension Center, March 3, Mysuru, hosting a special lecture on the occasion of 74th Republic Day on the theme of constitutional vision, 74 years of independence. So, to celebrate this national festival, we have assembled here on behalf of University of Mysore.
ಇಂದು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಾದ್ಯಂತ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಪ್ರಜೆಗಳಾದ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯ ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸವವನ್ನು ಆಚರಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಜನವರಿ 26ರಂದು ಆಚರಿಸಲಾಗುತ್ತಿರುವ ಈ ದಿನ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಆಶಯದಂತೆ ಭಾರತವು ಸಾರ್ವಭೌಮ ಸಮಾಜವಾದಿ ಜಾತ್ಯತೀತ ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರವಾಗಿ ಮಾರ್ಪಟ್ಟಿರುವ ಈ ದಿನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಭಾರತೀಯರಿಗೆ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯ ದಿನವಾಗಿದೆ. ಇಂತಹ ದಿನದ 10 ಹಲವಾರು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳು ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿರುವ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ಹಿರಿಮೆಯಾಗಿದೆ. ಇಂತಹ ಮಹತ್ವಪೂರ್ಣವಾದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಗೋಪಾಲ್ ಎಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ನವೀನ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರಿಂದ ಉತ್ತಮವಂದನೆ ಮೂಲಕ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸೋಣ.
ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಗೀತೆಯನ್ನ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಜನ ಪ್ರಬುದ್ಧ ಗಣ, ನೆಲದ ಗುಣ ಮಹಾಮೈತ್ರಿ ಗಣ. ನಮ್ಮ ಜನ ಪ್ರಬುದ್ಧ ಗಣ, ನೆಲದ ಗುಣ ಮಹಾಮೈತ್ರಿ ಗಣ. ವಿವಿಧತೆಗಳೇ ಭಾರತದ ಜನಗಣಮನ, ವಿವಿಧತೆಗಳೇ ಭಾರತದ ಜನಗಣಮನ. ಭಾರತೀಯರಿಗೆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ, ಭಾರತೀಯರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೇ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ. ಜನ ಗುಣ ಮಹಾಮೈತ್ರಿ ಗಣ. ಸಮತೆಗೆ ಸೋದರತೆಗೆ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾವಲಂಬನೆಗೆ, ಸಮತೆಗೆ ಸೋದರತೆಗೆ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾವಲಂಬನೆಗೆ, ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಪ್ರಗತಿಗೆ ಸಾರ್ವಭೌಮತೆಗೆ, ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಪ್ರಗತಿಗೆ ಸಾರ್ವಭೌಮತೆಗೆ, ನ್ಯಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಧರ್ಮಶ್ರದ್ಧೆಗೆ, ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವದ ನಾವಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಬುದ್ಧ ಭಾರತದ ಕೇಳಿಗೆ, ಶಕ್ತಿ ನಮಗೆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಸರ್ವ ಜನರಿಗೂ ವರದಾನ. ಶಕ್ತಿ ನಮಗೆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಸರ್ವ ಜನರಿಗೂ ವರದಾನ. ಭಾರತೀಯರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ರಕ್ಷೆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ರಕ್ಷಿಸೋಣ. ನಮ್ಮ ಜನ ಪ್ರಬುದ್ಧಗಣ ಬೆಲಗುಣ ಮೈತ್ರಿಕಣ ಜ್ಞಾನಕ್ಕೆ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಕ್ಕೆ ವೈಚಾರಿಕತೆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಗೌರವ ವೈಚಾರಿಕತೆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಗೌರವಕ್ಕೆ ಆಶೆಗೆ ಭಾವಗಳಿಗೆ ಸ್ಥಾನಮಾನ ಅವಕಾಶಕ್ಕೆ ಆಶೆಗೆ ಭಾವಗಳಿಗೆ ಸ್ಥಾನಮಾನ ಅವಕಾಶಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೂಲ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳಿಗೆ ಮೂಲಭೂತ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವದ ನಾವಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಬುದ್ಧ ಭಾರತದ ಕೇಳಿಗೆ ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿ ನಮಗೆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಸರ್ವಜನರಿಗೂ ನಮಗೆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಸರ್ವಜನರಿಗೂ ಭಾರತೀಯರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೇ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಪಾಲಿಸೋಣ ಭಾರತೀಯರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೇ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ರಕ್ಷಿಸೋಣ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಪಾಲಿಸೋಣ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ರಕ್ಷಿಸೋಣ.
Thank you, Naveen Kumar from Tathagata team. Today is a principal day and we have great persons as the guests today. We are pleased to welcome you to this perfect program. Let me introduce with our today's eminent guests. Now, I would like to welcome Professor S. Narendra Kumar, Director of Ambedkar Research and Extension Center, Manasa Gangotri, Mysuru, to gather in the and introduce the guests.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ 74ನೇ ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸವದ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು. ಇದೊಂದು ಬಹಳ ಚಾರಿತ್ರಿಕವಾದಂತಹ ಮಹತ್ವದ ದಿನ. ಏಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ನಾವೇ ಸಮರ್ಪಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿರುವಂತಹ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನಗೊಳಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಂತಹ ದಿನ, ಸಂವಿಧಾನವನ್ನು ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನಗೊಳಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಂತಹ ದಿನ. ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಗಾಂಧೀಜಿಯವರ ನೇತೃತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಸಿಕ್ತು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ಬಾಬಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರ ನೇತೃತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನವೂ ಕೂಡ ದೊರೆಯಿತು. ಈ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನಗೊಂಡಂತಹ ದಿನ ನಮ್ಮದೇ ನೆಲದ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಕವಿ ಕುವೆಂಪು ಅವರು ಅವರ ಪದ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಶ್ರೀಸಾಮಾನ್ಯನಿಗೆ ದೀಕ್ಷಾ ಗೀತೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂತ ಪದ್ಯ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೊನೆಗೊಂಡಿತು ಓರೋರ್ವರ ಗರ್ವದ ಕಾಲ, ಇದು ಸರ್ವರ ಕಾಲ, ಸರ್ವೋದಯ ಸರ್ವೋದಯ ಅನ್ನೋ ಮಾತನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಮೇಲಿಲ್ಲವೋ ಕೀಳಿಲ್ಲವೋ ಸರ್ವ ಸಮಾನತಾ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಅನ್ನೋ ಮಾತನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಪದ್ಯದವರು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಸರ್ವ ಸಮಾನತೆಯ ರಾಜ್ಯ, ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ಇಂಥ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರವನ್ನ ಕಟ್ಟುವಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಮಹತ್ವದ ಪಾತ್ರವನ್ನ ವಹಿಸಿದೆ. ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ನಡುವೆ ಅನೇಕ ಸವಾಲುಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. ನಾನು ಈ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಅಮೃತ ಮಹೋತ್ಸವ ಆಚರಣೆಯ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ನಾವು ಆತ್ಮಾವಲೋಕನ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಬೇಕಾದಂತಹ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಕೂಡ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೈಸೂರು ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದಿಂದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿ ಆರ್ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಸಂಶೋಧನಾ ವಿಸ್ತರಣಾ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಕೂಡ ವಿಶೇಷ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಗಳನ್ನ ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ಸಂವಿಧಾನವನ್ನ ಕೇಂದ್ರೀಕರಿಸಿ ನಾವು ಇಡೀ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕವಾದ, ಆರ್ಥಿಕವಾದಂತಹ, ಶೈಕ್ಷಣಿಕವಾದ ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿದ್ಯಮಾನಗಳನ್ನ ವಸ್ತುನಿಷ್ಠವಾಗಿ ವಿಮರ್ಶಾತ್ಮಕವಾಗಿ ಚರ್ಚಿಸುವಂತಹ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಬಂದೇವೆ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷತೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕುಲಪತಿಗಳನ್ನ ಆಹ್ವಾನಿಸಿದಾಗ ಅವರು ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮೈಸೂರು ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಕುಲಪತಿಗಳಾದಂತಹ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಎಚ್ ರಾಜಶೇಖರ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರನ್ನ ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಗೌರವದಿಂದ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಬಯಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಈ ದಿನದ ವಿಶೇಷ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳು ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಜಿ ಹರಗೋಪಾಲ್ ಸರ್. Respected Professor G. Hargopal sir has came here today to give the special lecture on constitutional reason and 75 years independence. He is senior eminent political scientist and human rights activist in our country. Presently, he is residing in Hyderabad. I am thanking him for having accepted our invitation to come over here. We heartily welcome him on behalf of University of Mysore and Dr. B. R. Ambedkar Research and Extension Center. We also welcome Srimati Hargopal to Mysore on this occasion. Welcome. ಹಾಗೆ ಇಂದಿನ ವಿಶೇಷ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸದ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ಸಂದರ್ಶಕ ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕರಾದಂತಹ ಮತ್ತು ಸಮಾಜಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಜ್ಞರು ಆದಂತಹ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಆರ್ ಇಂದಿರಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಗೌರವದಿಂದ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಬಯಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೇನೆ ವೇದಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂದಿನ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಆಯೋಜಕರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬರಾದಂತಹ ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ಹಿರಿಯ ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕರಾದ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಜೆ ಸೋಮಶೇಖರ್ ಸರ್ ಕೂಡ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಗೌರವದಿಂದ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ವಿವಿಧ ಕೇಂದ್ರಗಳ ಮುಖ್ಯಸ್ಥರು ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕರು ಸಂಶೋಧಕರು ಆಗಮಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಉಮಾಪತಿ ಸರ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಗೌರವದಿಂದ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ದೂರದಿಂದ ಸಾವಿತ್ರಿ ಮಜುಂದಾರ್ ಅವರು ಮಹಿಳಾ ಪರ ಚಿಂತಕರು, ಅವರು ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಭಾಂಗಣದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಗೌರವದಿಂದ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಸೋನಂ ಅವರು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಗೌರವದಿಂದ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಚಂದ್ರಶೇಖರ್ ಅವರು, ಹಾಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಚನ್ಕೇಶವ್ ಅವರು, ಹಾಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ರಾಮಸ್ವಾಮಿ, ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಶರಣಪ್ಪ ಅವರು, ಹಾಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ತಿಮ್ಮರಾಯಪ್ಪ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಶ್ರೀ ಪುಟ್ಟಮಾದೇವರು, ವರ್ಧಯ್ಯ ಅವರು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಕುಮಾರಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಅವರು, ಇನ್ನು ಅನೇಕ ಚಿಂತಕರು ನಮ್ಮೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಗೌರವದಿಂದ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನ ಬಯಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಮಂಗಳ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಗೌರವದಿಂದ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಂಶೋಧಕರು ಮತ್ತೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಮಿಸಿದರೆ, ಹೊರಗಿನಿಂದಲೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ತಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಬರೋದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನ ಯಶಸ್ವಿಗೊಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಮತ್ತು ಈ ರೀತಿಯ ಒಂದು ಸಹಕಾರ ಸದಾ ಇರಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನ ಬಯಸಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನ ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಹಾಗೂ ಮಾಜಿ ಸಿಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಸದಸ್ಯರು ಹಾಗೂ ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕರಾದ ನಂಜುಂಡಯ್ಯ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೂಡ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಬಯಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲಿದ್ದಂತ ಗಣ್ಯಮಾನ್ಯರನ್ನು ಹಾಗೂ ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮುಂಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಸಂಪನ್ನರನ್ನು ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸಿದಂತ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಎಸ್ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಈಗ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರ ಭಾವಚಿತ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಪುಷ್ಪಾರ್ಚನೆ ಮೂಲಕ ಗಣ್ಯಮಾನ್ಯರು ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆ ಮಾಡುವುದನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಪುಷ್ಪಾಂಜಲಿ ಮೂಲಕ ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಪತ್ರಕರ್ತರು ಹಾಗೂ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮ ಮಿತ್ರರು ಕೂಡ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನ ಬಯಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಆದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನಕ್ಕೆ ತರುವವರು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯವರಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರೆ ಅದು ಕೆಟ್ಟದೆಂದು ಸಾಬೀತಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಸಂವಿಧಾನವು ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಕೆಟ್ಟದಾದರೂ ಅದನ್ನು ಜಾರಿಗೊಳಿಸುವವರು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯವರಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಅದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದೆಂದು ಸಾಬೀತಾಗುತ್ತದೆ ಎನ್ನುವ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರ ಮಾತನ್ನ ಸ್ಮರಿಸುತ್ತಾ, ಸಂವಿಧಾನಾತ್ಮಕ ಆಶಯ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯದ 75 ವರ್ಷಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಎನ್ನುವ ವಿಷಯದ ಮೇಲೆ ವಿಶೇಷ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸ ನೀಡಲು ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳಾದ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಅರಗ್ ಗೋಪಾಲ್ಸನ್ ಅವರನ್ನು ಪರಿಚಯಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಕಲವತಿ ಕೆಸ್ಕೇರ್ ಅವರನ್ನು ವೇದಿಕೆಗೆ ಆಹ್ವಾನಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ.
Happy Republic Day to all. To introduce Professor J. Haragopal, who has come to the program. He was born to Bhaskar Ansuya in Shadnagar, near Hyderabad. His wife is Vanamala. Basically, he is a political scientist and human rights activist. Taught in Kagadi University, Usmania University, and University of Hyderabad. After ICCR National Fellow at Tata Institute of Social Sciences, later joined as a professor, National Law School, Bengaluru. He has worked as a visiting professor in top universities to Delhi University, Indian Institute of Advanced Studies, Shimla, and Northeast Hill University, Shimla. Gave lectures at Oxford University, London University in UK, Cornell University, USA, and Uppsala University, Sweden. He has published 5 books in English on human rights, Gandhian Outlook, Panchayat Raj Public Policy. Then 60 excellence research papers. He has guided 20 PhD scholars in many subjects. Had associated with civil rights movements. Then associated with educational movement, member presidium, All India Forum for Right to Education. Finally, he has worked as chairman in Kishore Bhakti. It's a good thing that such a resourceful person has come to the program today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kalavati, faculty of Ambedkar Research and Extension Center. Now, on this wonderful program, it's now time to call our chief guest here to inspire us through his words. Now, I kindly request our respected chief guest, Professor Haragopal, senior political scientist and human rights activist, Hyderabad. So, please.
Professor Rajshekhar, who is the chairman of this morning function, and my friends from the Ambedkar Center, Professor Umapati, a senior professor, Professor Indra, who is known to us for a long time because she was a regular visitor to University of Hyderabad when I was in the university, when I was a dean. So he was one of our regular invitees to University of Hyderabad. I recall that maybe about 10 to 15 years back, Mysore University felicitated me on a Teachers' Day, a great honor conferred by University of Mysore on me, and that was the time when I spoke on the role of teacher in social change. I distinctly remember my visit to. Otherwise, of course, I came to Mysore University on different occasions for selection committees. And I used to come as a student to attend national conferences on political science. You know, we had the Political Science Association. I still remember the King of Mysore also invited us for a dinner to his palace because he was also a student of political science in the University of Mysore. Now that is briefly my association with the University of Mysore. It was a very, very popular, distinguished university even for students. We used to hear a lot about the Mysore University. And Gandhi, when he visited Mysore during freedom struggle, he made an observation that Mysore state was very close to his Ramarajya. This is one comment Gandhi made when he visited Mysore, because Mysore was known for concern social justice, and reservations were extended to much before India got independence. And the rulers were supposed to be very enlightened rulers of Mysore. And when we come to a state like Mysore and talk about the Indian Constitution and what it has done, what it has not done, and on a Republic Day, every important day, landmark day in this India, when we had our own constitution. This was the day when Constitution of India was adopted and also introduced in 1950, 26th January. I was quite amused when I was in charge Vice Chancellor of University of Hyderabad. One of the Republic Days, I had to hoist the flag and address my colleagues and students. So I thought, before I spoke, I said, what is the difference between Independence Day and the Republic Day? So I said, the Independence Day is when we got independence, 15th August 1947. Republic Day is the day when we adopted the Constitution of India, as my opening remarks. But to my great surprise, my friends in the science department, particularly mathematics, they all said that they didn't know the difference between the Republic Day and Independence Day. They said it was quite education for us. I don't know, there's maybe some fault in the education system that particularly came from science, technology, medicine. They are not much concerned about these. They think this is the business of political science or social science. But it's important for a citizen to know that when a nation has a constitution and it declared itself a republic, and it was a big event not only for India but for the rest of the world, in particular for the British. British challenged the Indians that whether you will be capable of drafting a constitution. They challenged Gandhi, they challenged the Congress party that you are incapable of preparing a constitution. And India demonstrated that it is not only capable of writing its own constitution, but capable of writing a constitution which survived for 75 years, and hopefully we will not have like France, which had 5 republics. 5 times French constitution had to be changed completely. Every time when the constitution, a new constitution came, it was called Second Republic, Third Republic, Fourth Republic. And now France has a 5th Republic, they have a 5th version of the constitution. But India has a constitution, it survived 75 years. Now, for people are talking of Second Republic, we have to now wait and see whether the Constitution of India would be completely changed. But there is a big talk going on. Now, of course, the Hindutva groups, I understand Times of India reported, they prepared an alternative constitution and that will be adopted in the next Kumbh. And they are now pressurizing that we should have this constitution has developed lots of problems, and so therefore now they are arguing that we should have a different version of the constitution, and they seem to have drafted a constitution which is not going to be the constitution which has been drafted by Baba Sahib Ambedkar, who personally suffered discrimination, but of course he rose to such heights that finally, although Ambedkar was confronting Gandhi continuously with freedom struggle, but finally when it came to the drafting of constitution, when Jawaharlal Nehru went and asked Gandhi that he could be made in charge for the drafting of constitution, it was Gandhi who suggested that Dr. Ambedkar is the right person because he is a constitutionalist, he is an educationist, and he has been a freedom fighter, not in a very mainstream sense, but he was a freedom struggle in the sense he was continuously talking about the oppressive people. And Dr. Ambedkar felt that unless the oppressive, discriminated sections of the society are liberated, you can't call that country a fully free republic. This was his argument with Gandhi, that what will be the position of my people once India wins India? What will happen to discrimination, the humiliation, the oppression? That was his concern. And no nation can claim itself to be fully free unless the most oppressed sections are liberated, they become dignified, they become equal. In fact, when you enter my university, they say nothing is equal to knowledge. So that means everybody should have access to knowledge. In that sense, education should have been completely free, perhaps, accessible, affordable, and even the last person should have had access to education. So unfortunately, that did not happen. But any country which has developed, like Korea, Japan, China, any country you take, Scandinavian countries, education is free. And even United States of America, which is otherwise a vulgar capitalism, but even in United States for 200 years, there was a common school. There was a common school system, common school to neighborhood. And if you are living in a particular neighborhood, compulsorily you have to send your children to that school. There is no option for the parents. And all children, irrespective of their income, status, whatever position, they have to send the children to the common school. And Kothari Commission, which was appointed in 1964, said that we should have a common school. And if you have a common school, then the children from the poor and the children from the rich, if they study together, if they go to the same school, the prosperous may develop concern for the poor, poor may develop some respect for the prosperity. And coexistence of prosperity and poverty is possible provided by a common school. This is what Kothari Commission said. And Kothari Commission also said that education is the conscience of nation. Education is the critical assessment of the way of life of the society. What is the function of education? You have to continuously look at your society in a critical way so that you generate ideas for transformation of the society. What constitution has been done of the egalitarian society? But the beauty of Indian constitution, although there were a number of arguments, if you look at the debates in the Constitutional Assembly, there were lots of debates. Very interestingly, in 1928, Nehru Committee, that's the Motilal Nehru Committee, has drafted fundamental rights. And in the fundamental rights chapter, they said right to property. And Jawaharlal Nehru argued with his father that how can you have right to property and social justice? They can't go together. Right to property is a capitalist right. Nehru said to the father. Then and he said the distributive justice is very important. Abdul Motilal said that why do you want socialism in the constitution? Then Nehru said, why do you want capitalism in the constitution? The father and his son argued in 1938. But anyway, as things passed, no freedom struggle in the entire third world, all the anti-colonial struggles. To my understanding, Professor Ibra is there, she can correct, no country which was fighting against colonialism ever said that they would have a capitalist system. All countries said they would have a egalitarian, a country which is equitable, a country which is fair and just, a country which is very humane, a country which will participate to culture, a country which is decentralized. I can see. Yeah, all the people, my students used to ask, what kind of society you want? You keep on giving lecture. Then I always said that my vision or the vision of India, of an independent India is that it should be economically egalitarian, politically participative, socially harmonious, morally elevating, ecologically sustainable, and aesthetically pleasing. This is the type of work I have to create. So the Constitution of India, in spite of all tensions that we have in the Constituent Assembly, finally, thanks to Baba Sahib Ambedkar, he negotiated with the different viewpoints and finally made Constituent Assembly to accept the Constitution, which today is in force. But then, what the vision of the Constitution, if you read the Constitution of India, I always feel that Article 38 and Article 39 of Indian Constitution, to me, are most critical, component aspects of Indian Constitution. What does Article 38 say? Reduce inequalities in income, status, opportunities, and facilities. What are the inequalities? Income, status, opportunities, and facilities. What does Article 39 say? Means of production. The production, land, labor or capital. It should not be in the hands of the few. Wealth should not be concentrated. Wealth should not be concentrated. And wealth should subserve the common good. And it should not be detrimental to the common good. That means the means of production, the entire wealth of the country, should be so distributed that there is certain distributive justice. So in other words, Constitution envisages an equitable society, a society in form of distributive justice. Now this controversy between distributive justice and growth, this continues. And from 1947 to 1967, first 2 decades of India's independence, the Nehruvian era, they were, of course, products of freedom struggle. They still remember the promises that they made to the people of India, the people of India fought. And during the freedom struggle, it's not only the mainstream Congress under Gandhi, there was Dr. Ambedkar was fighting for freedom in a more substantial sense. There was a tribal struggle, 200 years of Adivasi struggles in this country. And in 1946, there was a tremendous unrest among the students, among the farmers, among the Adivasis, and then of course the minority problem anyway was burning. So that was the background, that was the context in which India got freedom. And therefore tribals get special rights in Part 5 of the Indian Constitution. Tribals get special rights in terms of reservation and also terms of abolishing untouchability. And the trade unions get bargaining right, organizing right, and all that. Common citizen gets right to freedom of speech, right to practice any religion, and right to organize, right to educate. All these are there in the Constitution. So therefore, citizens get certain rights, very fundamental rights. But apart from the freedoms that the Constitution gives to all of us, it also promises certain egalitarian society. Baba Sahib Ambedkar's basic strategy was give freedoms to the people. Give freedom to the people to organize. That's why he said organize, educate, educate and educate. So therefore he said, let people have rights. The freedom that citizen is given is in a sense to be used to achieve the part 4 of the Indian Constitution, that is egalitarian society. The freedom is justice. Freedom for justice. That's how the scheme of constitution has been designed. And that's the type of constitution which has been handed over to us. And then therefore from 47 to 1967, given this background, the Indian economic development was gradually moving for some sort of egalitarian. At least no, in theory, it tried to be a little egalitarian. And therefore state, basically the state and the government, the role of the state, unlike many constitutions in the world, because constitution basically is a legal document. But Indian constitution is not a legal document. It's not only a legal document, but it's a philosophical document. It's a moral document. Because part 4 of the Indian Constitution says to achieve equitable society, right, and directive principles are fundamental for governance. And sir, when the debate was taking place in the Constituent Assembly, some of the members of the Constituent Assembly said that what is the point in having directive principles in the part 4 of the Constitution when they are not justiciable? Because you can't go to the court and ask them to implement the directive, whereas fundamental rights are justiciable. What is the point in having a constitution which is not justiciable? No, I mean, we have a part which is not justiciable. Then Baba Sahib Ambedkar said, you may not be able to go to the court, but every political party has to go to the people for elections. And when they go to the people, when people know directive principles, people will start asking the political party, what happened to part 4 of the Constitution? He said this is referring to people, and the people will ask the political parties. And political parties are answerable to the people. They may not be answerable to the court, but they are answerable to the people. And therefore he said they are fundamental for governance. But what is also very surprising is that while introducing the directive principles, when he was arguing the value and the and the importance of directive principles, Baba Sahib Ambedkar made one very profound statement, which normally is not talked about these days, is that he said that the importance and value of directive principles will be understood when the forces of right will take over the power. It was profitable. It is very profitable that if the right wing comes, obviously right wing means capitalism, capitalist development. The left wing means social justice, distribution. This is what Baba Sahib. That's why he said, if right wing people come to power, then obviously they will give up the directives. When people of India can ask, whichever is the government, whatever might be its ideological disposition, people can always, what happened to this? What happened to distribution justice? This continues. So therefore, the past decades, distributive justice with certain economic development, state as a transformative agent. State basically, because I am a student of political science, state is organized power. Organized power means not only political power, physical power. For example, a policeman, under certain conditions, can use force against everybody. Nobody should use force against everybody. It's a civilized society, nobody should use force. But still, every state has certain standing police, army, several battalion forces and all that. Why does state have violence? Institutional violence? Now that question still remains to be answered. Gandhi always said, Gandhi, 1st January 1948, before he was killed after a month, Gandhi was addressing the prayer. He said that any nation which governs with the help of the police is a foreign government for them. Whether the Indians or the foreigners, that doesn't make any difference. Quality of governance makes a difference. If the state is using force, it is not my government. I'm quoting Gandhi. So therefore, Gandhi had a different view. He was an able quoting. Because in his state, in his Rama Raja, whatever he called, there is no state. There's no state. They said state is not necessary. Gandhi argued state is not necessary. When somebody asked Gandhi that if state is not there, society will become anarchical. There is anarchy. But Gandhi said, my society is such that my citizen will be enlightened citizen. Therefore, it will be enlightened anarchy. In enlightened anarchy, there is no scope for violence and all. This is Gandhi in utopian sense. But what I am trying to argue is that state is a power, it is organic power, it's a violence, it's a static violence, in the form of police, weapons and all that. Policeman is the only man who can beat us under certain circumstances. No one else can beat another person, although these days things are happening. They are not supposed to. If you have a rule of law, you can't touch, even if I am insulted. I can go and report to the police and the police has to follow the rule of law. But nobody can come and beat me because I said something. So therefore, the force can be used only by the state. But Indian state, thanks to Baba Sahib Ambedkar and Constituent Assembly, that Indian state is not only in charge of law and order, in charge of maintaining order in the society, but Indian state, according to the Constitution of India, has to transform Indian society. As a student of political science, I always ask this question, that how can state transform the society? Because it has to maintain stability, it has to maintain order, and any change disturbs the order. Any change, for example, a Dalit, when he revolts, saying that I don't tolerate untouchability, I don't tolerate untouchability. And the upper caste practices untouchability. Then the state has to come and arrest. The one they arrested, forward caste, upper caste, may even irritate, saying that no, yes, I believe in untouchability. The state says no, you can't believe in untouchability. This is absolute and constitutional. Now, obviously, what happens? This causes a little bit of disturbance in the society. Obviously, see, what happens is when there is a structural violence in the society, all of us believe in violence, surprisingly. All of us accept violence at some form, not knowingly. The structural violence, because if a landlord beats a Dalit or an agricultural laborer, we pity. No, this landlord fellow is a very bad fellow. And see, he uses violence. Things like that. We may pity, we may have concern. But if a Dalit beats the landlord, it becomes a revolution. It becomes a revolt. Same thing. One human being beating another human being. Husband beating the wife, we say that no, husband should not beat and all that. If wife beats husband, my God, what is happening? Wife is beating her. It's same thing. One human being beating another human, but our response is not the same. Because inherently in our value system, one violence is acceptable, another violence is not acceptable. If you are taking a task of transformation of the society, then this violence of one, the powerful against the weak, has to change. State has to play that role. And this is what Indian Constitution envisages. So transforming India, Dr. Baba Sahib therefore said that today, when Constitution comes into effect, and from today, constitutional morality shall prevail. This is what he said. What is my constitutional morality? Equality, dignity, self-respect. And each human being respect another human being, rule of law, all of us accepting a civilized governance. This is what Baba Sahib meant when he said that constitutional morality shall prevail from today. Not religious morality, not the traditional morality, but the constitutional morality. But for a nation to accept constitutional morality and abandoning all its traditional values and all that is an extremely difficult process. But somehow the drafting committee and the Constituent Assembly thought that Indians will be capable of creating an egalitarian society, a democratic society, a humane society. This is what Constitution of India is all about. But by 1947, 1967, see, there was a lot of unrest in India. 67 to 71, If somebody studied this 4 years, India was a disturbed India. India was restless India. Education, I was just coming out of Usman University portals after completing my post-graduation. There was a huge Telangana education. 320 or 350 students died in that education. Regional education, sub-regional education, secessionist movements, autonomy movements, Naxalite movement, women's movement, Dalit, identity, Dalit family. You see this period. It was a period of tremendous unrest in India. And that unrest produces Indira. Now, Indira Gandhi, once she takes over, she says that people will not tolerate this type of inequalities and all that, and we have to create an egalitarian line, address the problem of Dalit, Adivasi, small farmer, and she was continuously talking of Dalits. Of course, in those days, word Harijan was permissible, and therefore she would Girijan and Harijan. All India radio from morning to evening, only Harijan and Girijan. And small farmers, land reforms, monopolistic to trade practices, and she brought several, policy initiatives. And that raised the expectations of the Dalits, marginalized sections of the society. It raised the expectations. And the richer and the powerful classes were afraid of Mrs. Gandhi. She was going to do something with land reforms. She brought it from the fundamental right, like her father, who argued fundamental rights would not be the fundamental right, but her grandfather argued for the fundamental right to the right to property as a fundamental right. Nehru argued that no, it should not be fundamental. But finally, Mrs. Gandhi brought it into legal right and it seems to be a fundamental right. But then, when she raised this question, the landed gentry, landlords, capitalists, rich class, privileged classes, they were hesitating, they were suspicious of Mrs. Gandhi. What is she up to? And the poorer sections, expectations have gone up. That some justice is going to happen, land reforms are going to take place, because we talked of land reform. And from that crisis, rich being unhappy, poor having high expectations, governance became very difficult. And therefore, in 1974, you have emergence, suspending fundamental rights in the name of the direct principles. He said, if you want to implement the direct principles, fundamental rights are coming in the way. Therefore, she suspended fundamental rights. But anyway, people of India were unhappy with that type of thing because people already have come to enjoy freedoms. And we know the freedoms were very important. Anyway, states started misbehaving with the people. Police started using excesses during emergency. And therefore, in 1977, Mrs. Gandhi was defeated. Now, Janata Party, which was an amalgam of different political parties from right to left, the Janata Party experiment in this country is worth studying. There were Vajpayee, there was Advani in the cabinet, there was George Fernandez, Jagjivan Ram, these people in the cabinet. Fernandez is a great union leader. And Advani and Vajpayee, they have a different ideological view. But both of them were in the cabinet. But it did not work for long. It did not work. And within 2.5 to 3 years, a party which came to power with a massive mandate just collapsed. Mrs. Gandhi comes back. And second time Mrs. Gandhi was no longer the first time Mrs. Gandhi. There is so much of contrast between first time Mrs. Gandhi and second time Mrs. Gandhi. First phase, she spoke of poverty, reduction of power, equality, land reform, distributive justice. Second time Mrs. Gandhi did not speak any of these things. Nothing of this. Her concern in the second time was unity and integrity. Ekata and Akhandata. Unity and integrity. So therefore we used to have national integration seminars and many seminars on national integration in the 1980s, early 80s. But Mrs. Gandhi started realizing that unless the wealth increases, unless wealth increases, it will be difficult to, even solve the problem of poverty. How did China do? China went for massive land reforms, agrarian reforms, and they produced surplus in agriculture, surplus agriculture that came to industry. That's how Korea, Japan, and all these countries went for massive land reforms. We didn't go for land reforms. We didn't go for land reforms, and therefore agriculture was growing at 2.5%, and agriculture was not picking up, and there was a food scarcity in the 1960s, and therefore you have that problem. And Mr. Gandhi started saying that, okay, we have to hasten up, we have to accelerate. And therefore, she started arguing that we have to borrow capital from the international market. So once she started relaxing, whereas fourth five plan document said by the end of the fourth five plan, we will be a self-sufficient country. Whereas in the 1980s, Mr. Gandhi, self-sufficiency, sovereignty and all that, he went to World Bank and to IMF and to borrow. Global capital comes to your country not as capital or as a loan, it comes with the conditionalities. It comes with the conditionalities. Now, in other words, the colonialism against which we fought and had this constitution, right, and the goals and the aims of that, freedom struggle started getting compromised. And again, we started inviting the same capital against which we fought. So the capital comes in a different form. And then it comes to India with conditionality. What are the conditionalities? Number one, reduce the role of the state. Whereas Baba Sahib Ambedkar said state has to play a distributive role. It has to bring justice in the society. Whereas now, the global capital said this distribution and all that to forget. You have to have growth if you want wealth. So if you want to have growth, you want us to come. We will come. We'll give you the loan. But then conditionality says that you privatize certain sectors. You have to go for privatization, including health, education, everything. Then see, once they come with a privatization, then they say liberalize. No more go and see the regulation of the state on the market. So remove regulations. What she brought in 1970, monopolies to trade practice, all that, now you liberalize all that. So liberalization. And then privatization, then globalization. Allow foreign capital to come to our country. Because we thought that India's development has been hampered because of the deficit in the capital. We have huge labor. Of course, we have a huge labor power. If we had educated this labor power, I think the nation's history would have been different. We have not given that priority to education. So we have this dilemma. And so the foreign capital came, and first time, India, even Mrs. Gandhi's time, it was on the capitalist path. Suddenly he died, and Rajiv Gandhi landed from a pilot as the Prime Minister of this country. And once he became the Prime Minister, he was not a politician. Development essentially is a political process. But for Rajiv Gandhi, it was not a political process, it was a techno-managerial process. You have to have technology, you have to have management efficiency. If you have efficiency, right, and technology, nation will grow faster. So the perspective changed. And he started inviting, anyway, he started inviting foreign capital. 1980s, friends, we must remember, from 2.5% rate of growth, it was 5.6%. 19 decade of the 80s was one of the best decades in post-independent India in the sense there were no strikes, there was no war in the 1980s. It was relatively peaceful compared to 1970s, and growth had picked up. But at the end of the 80s, we were told that nation is in deep economic crisis. How does one explain it? When your economy picked up in 5.6% rate of growth, trade unions were relatively more calm. There was no war, because war also creates its own constraint on growth. Relatively, when it was a peaceful period, growth picked up, we were told nation is in deep economic crisis because foreign exchange balances, UOP balance of payment, no, completely imports were coming, there were no exports, and with the result the gap between the import and export was so wide that we were left with no foreign exchange. Ships were arriving with the goods and commodities, but you have no money to pay, you have no foreign exchange. Your entire treasury, it is showing that the foreign exchange was sufficient for another 2 weeks. Then you will become in international, you lose credibility. So therefore, what I have done, if you read biography, Reserve Bank Governor's autobiography, he writes that how tons of gold had to be rushed to the international market secretly, very confidentially, had to be marketed in order to have foreign exchange, so that we can, at least have preserve our credibility in the international market. And then they said we have to go for full hog globalization. We have to go complete capitalist path of development. Now, therefore, in the 1990s, from the egalitarian socialist distribute to reduction of poverty, land reform, that entire rhetoric changes. Now growth, 7.7, 8%, double-digit growth, 5 trillion economy. Since the vision has changed, nation vision has not changed. Now we have to have growth and prosperity. How do you have growth? You will have growth provided those who have capital invest in whatever sector. You have to give them a lot of incentives. And one of the incentives you have to give to the rich people is tax concession. The one way you create an egalitarian society is tax the rich. And finance the education, health, social sector from that wealth. Now, recently, they are arguing that the income tax should be removed. Now the economists are arguing income tax should be completely removed, because only 6 to 7% of people pay the tax. But what is important is the entire wealth of the country is at 7%. 10% of people have 70%, the rate is transformed. If this 10% have 70%, if you don't tax, where from the state will get income? Where from the government get income? See, America has 45% tax. Sweden has 65% tax. Sweden, Denmark, Finland, they have all 70, 60, 70% tax. Other than Sweden, their tax rate is very high. But education is free, health is free, transport is subsidized, employment is guaranteed. Nobody is unemployed. If somebody can guarantee you employment, students sitting all of you are very sure that you will get job immediately after your graduation or whatever education you complete. If you are guaranteed, you will not have unrest. You will be most peaceful student because your job is guaranteed. And health is guaranteed. Unlike COVID period, where we suffered enormously. The pathetic stories during COVID period, no health facility, no access, no beds. People died. These stories are extremely pathetic stories during COVID period. What happened to our health system? What happened to our education system? What is the condition of universities? What is the finances? 40% of budget for higher education last year. That's it. Not enough. Universities are starved. In Mysore University, for certain new infrastructure, no faculty, new departments. There's no money. They are saying there's no money. Go for privatization, go for peace, very happy, all this they are saying. If they are saying that 40% of budget on higher education lapse, why did it lapse? You can't understand, because now they think education and health should be handed over to the private sector. This is a part of the neoliberal agenda. So therefore, what is happening, that all the social sector is suffering when after the neoliberalism. And gradually the wealth is growing. There is no doubt that Indian wealth is growing. But if you do not support the social sector, like the Scandinavian countries or some of these countries, people suffer, enormously they suffer. And that suffering we have seen, what has happened. Now, so therefore, the rich people, they're very interesting. Super rich of America have written a letter to the President of America, please tax us more, have more resources. so that you can finance certain social sector. They have written a letter, tax and more. Indian super rich are arguing don't taxes. Pay from you get the resources. No, if the state doesn't have resources, they can't spend on education, they can't spend. See, once upon a time, when Professor Thorat was the chairman, lot of money came to UGC. So Thorat had so many plans because I was associated with so many committees. Every day he generated ideas, social exclusion, school center, medical study center. And he said, we have resources. But suddenly that UGC completely now today in India, it has such a shape that they can't, spend much of money, and unfortunately, everything has to go to ministry, everything has to go to PMO's office. UGC used to be so independent. The ministry was afraid of UGC. Education ministry was afraid. I remember that one of the UGC chairman, Arnati Desai, when she was having a commission meeting, when Joint Secretary, Minister of Education came, she said, have you read the hand? She asked the Joint Secretary, have you read the hand? He said, yes, madam. What is written in there? Secretary Education ex officio. Are you secretary? And is it written in UGC and that secretary or his nominee? No. Please have a cup of tea. Go. You can't attend the meeting. Today, class can come and attend the meeting on behalf of secretary. I feel sorry because that's a UGC, which is most respectful organization for all of us. But see, these things have changed. Now, in the process, higher education suffered, the entire health sector suffered, employment is a very bad situation, but growth is there. Growth is there. Wealth is growing. During COVID period, the income of Adani and Ambani has gone up over 6 to 7 lakh crores. 7 lakh crores, 3 lakh, 4 lakh, every company. I was reading economic journalism. If you read, every company which is having Excel was making profits. There was no company during COVID which lost the profits. Every company made profit. Whereas people didn't have money for the health. And people were struggling. Beds were not available. They were waiting, for some help for the health system. In fact, what I am saying is that if the spirit, original spirit of the constitution was carried, in my view, would have been different. The nations like Finland, that was the social democracy was the perspective of the Baba Saheb Ambedkar because he was student of Lassi, he was student of John Daly. And who shared that viewpoint? They have shared the Constitution of India, saying that these are the critical sectors where state has to be play a very important role. Vision has gradually changed. In Scandinavia and particularly in Finland, recently they have abolished prisons. Because there is no crime. There is no crime in those countries because when you have health, education, employment, the guarantees. Why society goes for crime? There is need for crime. But unfortunately, not in capitalism, we have got into neoliberalism. And the difference between capitalism and neoliberalism is capitalism did Adam Smith or any of those economists. Adam Smith argued that human being is driven by self-interest. But he also has written moral sentiment that human being also has a moral sensitivity. He also has a concern for the other. This is the father of economics, and that tradition continues. But where neoliberalism says, no, not self-interest. Human being is driven by selfishness. And they are writing now books and school. Selfishness is the burnout. And people have a concern for others, compassion for others. Mysore University inviting, having a discussion on constitution, talking of the poor people, marginalized, distinguished people being here. In the neoliberal view, it's all waste of time. It's all waste of time. Because they are saying concern for the poor people, compassion is the quality of a weak human being. A confident, fully confident, dignified human being, right, will not have concern for others, lives for himself and is a full human being. Human being who lives for himself is a full human being. Human beings who are concerned for others are very weak human beings. It's simply philosophical shift. It's a drastic shift in understanding of capital, and we are now in the neoliberal model. And neoliberalism, knowingly or unknowingly, it is percolating in the society. Families are collapsing, wife is killing husband is killing the wife, children are killing the parents are killing children, mothers are killing the children. Mothers love, such a sentiment, such a value, such a noble value that humanity developed today. In Assam, it happened, and it's happening everywhere. Mother loves some rich people, a rich person. She wanted to marry him. And the daughter was 12 years. She was worried that if he comes to know that she has a 12 years daughter, he may not accept her. She killed her daughter. Of course, recently she lost her faith. She killed her daughter just to marry this faith. It's not imagined. There are several women. And you see, the love, the affection of a mother, the attachment of a mother. I think my wife, still, she is concerned. My children are well said, but even small problems, she is concerned. But she is concerned with the part of, civilizational process. But today, mother killing the children, she told the young baby, number of children are found in the dustbins. Our children number is going up. What happened to civilization? What happened to all the values which have built over a period of time? Neoliberalism says, forget of all these things. Grow, give forwards. See, this shift to me is such a civilizational shift that it is going to create a dehumanized society. There's a process of dehumanization going on. And so therefore, the state, which was originally envisaged by Dr. Baba Saheb to play its role of change agent, now the state's job is to facilitate economic growth. Go on incentivizing people. Let rich people make money. But let's combined wealth of the country is going up. There's no doubt. They are going very fast. In the COVID period, they are going fast. Growing for what? 5 trillion economy. Okay, you made $5 trillion economy. What for what? If human being is unhappy, if you don't care for human being, if human values are not there, if you are not creating a humane society and a egalitarian society which Constitution of India, promises, then where are we going? And where do we land? This is the changed context in 75 years of Indian Constitution. Very unfortunate. But people say that what are the other path? What are the alternative path open? We tried, so egalitarian model, it didn't work. Wealth was not available. And therefore, we tried, capitalist path also on it, and therefore we landed in neoliberalism. Neoliberalism helping us in accelerating growth. So there is a wealth growing. Every day they are making profits. There is a huge wealth in the country, there is no doubt about that. But then, neoliberalism is one ideological structure which has a different philosophical premise. Constitutional premise and the neoliberal premise, see, both of them are exactly opposite to each other. The world history change, our history change. Now, what happens as the inequalities grow? Baba Sahib said state should transform the society. Now, the role of the state is to repress or bring the repressive laws. You talk, you are arrested, the universities are in trouble, teachers do not know what to do. I enjoyed 55 years I taught. I never felt in the classroom such state. Never, including except Mr. Gandhi period. My head department used to caution, you mentioned Mr. Gandhi in the class very carefully. Things are not good. But even then, there was Indian Express which was fighting and all that. But today, the media, you get media. Arnab Goswami did a take down. I don't know how many of you see him. I now saw him. He's an actor. His job is to pass on that's the role of media. Transit for good information for the society or balancing. The way he argues, I had also went twice or thrice. Of course, I told one for all that I never come to the chance. Because when he calls you, See, all second, I'm a university teacher. I'm also a civil rights man. I'm a self-respecting man. Who is this fellow calls me and go on shouting at you? Who is he? What is his moral power? What has he done for the society? What is the sacrifice he made? But just in an anchor, he hijacks the media and keeps on shouting and makes one shout against another. Is this the role of media in a democracy? Government completely hijacked the citizen. And then subversion of institutions, University Grants Commission, Election Commission, Supreme Court, Human Rights Commission, SC/ST Commission, Information Commission. Why is it happening? It is happening because all these institutions are built keeping democracy and democratic way of life as our goal. To preserve democracy, you need a private institution. You can't have a university like Mysore, where say talking becomes a problem. That should never happen. University should be free. As Jawaharlal Nehru said, it's a battle of ideas. But today the culture, at least Mysore University, is having this talk. But my own university, there I was the head of department, dean, and in charge vice chancellor. My lecture was not permitted in university. Future of Indian democracy. Can you imagine? I can't just imagine my own university not allowing me to give a lecture. The students are going to give a lecture. I retired, but no students, some of them still haven't attacked me. So they say, sir, please talk about future of democracy. I said, okay. But the minute I went to university, there was a big police force on the main gate. Shops were closed inside. And the registrars are, no, sir. I said, what's the problem? I mean, 25 years I work in this university. So students also say nothing doing, how can you prevent and all that? Finally, we start, sir, come tomorrow, we'll give a big hall and not this place, but another place. Now, what I'm therefore saying is, democracy, which was the entire, dream of Baba Sahib Ambedkar and the entire constitutional, assembly, which have prepared this wonderful Indian constitution. Today, that constitution, we really do not know what is its future. What are the threats to the constitution, threats to the institutions? But that doesn't mean I am cynical and no, it's not. India is such a diverse society. India is such a wonderful society. It has long traditions. And Hinduism, rightly or wrongly, although it has caste system and this part is there. But intellectual history, if you see, there is no single ideology as far as Hinduism is concerned. You read Hindu Pure Flight by Radhakrishnan. You read Nehru's Discovery of India. You read Amartya Sen's Argument to India. All of them are arguing. There are six streams of thought in Hinduism. Adi Shankara is there, Dvaita is there, Advaita is there, Vishishta Advaita is there, Sankhya is there. Number of philosophies in Hinduism. And of course, we have Buddhist friends. Buddha, 2500 years back, was said that God is not question. Dukkha, the cause for the dukkha is your wants. You create a bad society, sad society. God has not done anything. Even my granddaughter, I was asking her one day, just to know an idea, why God created such a bad society? She said, no, God has not created bad. We have a quality. That's what she said. We have a quality. That's what Buddha said. That we are the people who create a good society or a bad society. That Buddhism completely has been destroyed in India. That has been complete. It has gone to China, it has gone to Ukraine, it has gone to Japan, it has gone to different parts of the world. But try in the country which is the which is the cradle of Buddhism. People do Buddhism. India do Buddhism. What have to do? So therefore, this tradition also is there. But then given the diversity, given the democracy that we enjoyed for 75 years, given the linguistic diversity, regional diversity, and all that, and people of India have been always continuing. Dalits in this country today are every day far more conscious. An Ambedkar Center, right? Continuously arguing, debating, discussing on what Ambedkar thought, philosophy of Ambedkar's life, and therefore the women centers. So therefore, a Dalit today is conscious. I was doing a study on Dalit consciousness. I went to one of my districts in Telangana. I went to meet the landlord, who is a very cruel landlord. And he said, these Dalit fellows, they have got horns and all that in Telugu. He was telling me, I'll take bulldozers, no, I'll do that, this and all that. Landlord was very angry. I went to Dalit locality and I said, the landlord is very angry. Then one old man, Dalit, he said, sir, the dust under his feet has fallen in his eyes. He said, till yesterday I was a dust particle. Today I am in his eyes, troubling him. That's why landlord. So, in other words, a Dalit consciousness has tremendously gone up. Similarly, women's consciousness has gone up. Today, no woman will agree, although recently there was a circulation by these Hindutva groups. Very interestingly, you are a sociologist. Now they are saying, if a husband beats the wife, what should she do? And the answer is that wife should be grateful to the husband because he is punishing her for the papa in previous janma. By beating her, he is liberating her, and she will be liberated, and therefore she should be grateful to husband for beating. This is but now they are bringing this back, and the school curriculum is being changed. Curriculum, see, the latest CBSE exam, 12th exam, CBSE lakhs of children appear. They have given a paragraph, right? And the paragraph is, wife should accept, now they have not said why. Mother should accept the orders of the father. Children should accept the orders of the mother. Servants should accept the orders of everybody. This is the paragraph. And if your mother does not discipline your father, it leads to indiscipline. Then children will become indisciplined because mother is indisciplined. And servant will not care for anybody because everybody is questioning everybody in the family. Right? They have made paragraph, and the question is, who causes indiscipline in the family? So one of my, my sons, relation, that boy, for example, I was in Delhi, both of us, and this boy ran up to my son and was asking, this paragraph is given. I'm not able to understand that why they have given paragraph, because my father could be wrong and my mother can discipline my father. It's not always that my father is right, my mother is wrong. And we children, we also have some rights. Our mother can't beat us and all that. No, mother can't do that. And then he said, why should they bring servant into the family? Servant is outside the family, but they brought servant into the family. That is slavery. The slavery, symbol. They brought, and this boy, then of course my son asked what had he said. But to get marks, I said my mother is the cause of the discipline. But then he said that the entire paragraph is meaningless. But lots of children have answered that women causes indiscipline in the family. And the logic is, it is the woman causes indiscipline in the family, entire society will become indisciplined. If the family is completely disciplined, rest of the family will be, rest of the society will be disciplined. Baba said that change. Revolutionary counter-revolution, he argued for the rights of the woman. He argued rights of the woman and suffering of the woman in that essay. He has written extensively. He resigned from the law ministry for property right for women. He wanted a dignified woman. In fact, he writes about Brahmin women. That is, many people think wrote only no. He wrote on Brahmin, suffering of Brahmin woman, shaving off the head, starving after the husband death, all that he writes. Menstruation being observed almost like untouchable. All these powers have rights. Dignity of woman, he was continuously concerned. And he got property right, even woman will become more dignified. See, women, Dalit, Adivasi, children. Day before yesterday we had Cuban, the lady, our Che Guevara's daughter. She was addressing a huge gathering in Hyderabad. She was telling that we may be poor country, is what she said. We may be poor country, but we respect women, equality of women. She said we have almost 90% we have accepted. Children are extremely respected. She said nobody can misbehave a child and escape punishment in my country. This is what she was giving. Then of course, she said education and health. They have produced so many doctors that during COVID period they have sent doctors, including America. They gave supplied doctors. She said, these are the things we have taken care of. We are a relatively more humanitarian society. And she was narrating how Cuba has been built and how her father was a minister, but then resigned, he went to some other country. Finally, he was being killed by Bolivian army. But nations are coming proudly telling us that we have these rights and all that. India, which was dreaming of this country, somehow they have drifted. But then there was a farmers' education, women's education, Dalit consciousness, Adivasi study, children, students also have become. When we were students, we were afraid of our teachers. When we have become teachers, we are afraid of our students. The context has changed. Relations somehow have changed between students. Students are going on asking, educating and all that. We are finding this really difficult to negotiate with the students and all that because they are educated for several reasons. They are educated for several reasons. But what I'm saying is, this assertion of the children, assertion of the students, assertion of the woman, assertion of Adivasi, assertion of the Dalit, this is what exactly Baba said. Changing the society. That's what Constitution wants. But we drifted, but I'm sure that given the present levels of consciousness, human relations will change, and sooner or later, a distributive justice-centric society, a humane democratic society, we will be able to do it. But Baba Sahib Ambedkar gave us that vision. That's the reason why we are so grateful to him. That through Constitution, he gave us a vision for a more humane, for a more equitable, for more just, for more fair, and more democratic society. And today we remember the Constitution of India because of these noble values enshrined in the Constitution of India. Constitution of India will continue to inspire whether rulers care for the Constitution or not. People of India will care for the Constitution because it has noble values. Secularism, totalism. So you have to look at the Constitution of India. Liberty, equality, fraternity. These are the greatest values human history produced. And those greatest values are enshrined in the Constitution. That's why I call Constitution a philosophical document, apart from legal document. Constitution will continue to inspire people of India, and therefore we should remember and celebrate Republic Day because we are discussing our global values of the human society. I thank my university and
freedom of thought, strength in our communications, and pride in our heritage. Let's salute our brave mortgages on this Heritage Day. 1,000 salutes to all in this great nation of our. Sir, we felt pampered and motivated by your wonderful special lecture. Dear to us, on the topic of constitutional within 75 years of independence. Heartily thank you, sir. 10 ನಿಮಿಷಗಳ ಕಾಲ ಸಂವಾದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಚರ್ಚೆಗೆ ಅವಕಾಶವಿದೆ.
Thank you, sir. I'm really impressed about your hello. Philosophical document. My question is that we are performing colonialism to liberalism to now we are in the neoliberalism. So what would be the next? What would be the kindly enlighten us?
So see, this what happened when we were introducing neoliberalism. Some of us were arguing that this is not the right path. Right is right. This we started right. But many people said, what is ordinary? Now, suddenly there is no order now. See, one thing, what we have said is people do not invest in human capital and do not give quality education for your children. Well, you may have neoliberalism, you will be totally dependent. You are not an independent country. Only you have education. One of the estimates of economists is if we had invested GDP of this country, there have been 4% more before the nation was educated. Nation is not educated. Only a small section, after only 23% of relevant age group are in universities through distance education. Whereas in America, 45% in Scandinavia, 65% are in higher education. Our relevant age group, and even this 20% are in universities. Now, unfortunately, the quality of education completely suffered enormous. In Usman University, where I am a product of Usman University, our journalism department produced journalists who are there all over the world. Today, they have 18 faculty members. Today, one faculty member. One faculty, no faculty. How do you run universities? In my own department, public and colleagues, now there are two. In departments, there are two colleagues. One colleague, I went to Rajasthan University for NAC evaluation. And say when I went, in every Rajasthani language, there's zero. They are inviting some outsider to keep a postgraduate student. Rajasthan University, which was a very well-known university. So that means you are not investing for higher education. And you are asking private people, foreign universities. Why would foreign university come? Are they interested in development of India? What? They are coming to make profits. Because no, they got saturated. They want to come. They put pressure. And when Kapil Sibal was the minister, I was invited to a Vice Chancellor conference. I was not Vice Chancellor, but they asked me to head the panel on social justice. So I just spoke to 400 Vice Chancellor birthday. Kapil Sibal come and says foreign universities have to come, semester system has to come. We were telling him the semester system are the problems of when so many Vice Chancellors are saying, what are the crises of education? What is the promise the government of India makes to the people? He had 6 bills. Even the Congress party's culture, internal divisions, and all that, they were not going to be pushed through. But the present government under national education, pushed all the 6 bills into the national education policy. This foreign universities, where the 4 years, for example, semesters or 4 years graduation. 4 years, why have we ever debated on 4 years, 3 years or graduation ever in the Mysore University? I was 55. I don't think we have ever debated whether graduation should be 3 years or 4 years. Suddenly you change it to 4 years. Why? Because in America there is 4 years graduation. If American universities come, our 3 years people will not be qualified. But do you design your education to suit the foreign universities? See, what I am therefore saying is, if we have invested in education and health, healthy manpower is the productive force of the country. So if you have neglected those side and agriculture, in agriculture we brought green revolution, all that we are sufficient in the food production, all that we have absolute no problem. But if you do not go for land reform, then what happens? The rural people who are landless, they are all migrating. That they are creating slums in the urban area. And the agriculture is not picking up. And you have seen farmers' education. What are they asking? Minimum support price. If you in an agrarian society, if you do not go for a priority to the agriculture, you can't grow. Neoliberalism says corporate agriculture. And that's the reason farmers educated. So I think that there are models of development. Even planning commission itself developed models of development. You look at the second plan, you look at fourth plan, you may have some differences, but still there is a vision. There is a vision. But today there is no planning. Abolish of planning commission, no plan document. Actually, when they were planning, they used to come to University of Mysore. We used to ask for new posts for 5 years. They used to give us some posts in that. Now there is nothing like 5-year plan. Now who will come, who will give, what they will give, what they will do in the university. So I think that we have neglected, suddenly shifted to neoliberalism. And university will talk of, while except neoliberalism, there is no alternative. But neoliberalism in Latin America has done such a great injustice. Countries like Gautama, they have left like a waste. They dug everything, all minerals and all that. So we have to be very careful. That's why we have been telling government of India, state government, please go slow. Go slow, don't go very fast and build wealth and all that, and make a nation which is like a grave. All your minerals have gone, all the tribals have displaced. That I think that model of development, I think. Therefore, we are alternatives. For example, Cuban example, they are not rich country. Human development is there, care is there, children are being educated, 100% children are there, all vaccinated. They are doing research in medical science on cancer, on Alzheimer's. They are doing most advanced research on human, trafficking. So I think that there are ways. But then once you back the way, it becomes very difficult to withdraw. It's irreversible. But the follows are seen. Hopefully, we have seen in Brazil what happened. They have gone up to a point, and suddenly Prime Minister, you have seen in Sri Lanka what happened. Entire people have gone and occupied, president ran away. So that should not happen. At least in our country, we should be able to actually, reform in such a way that neoliberalism is certain to, we should tell the capital, this far more further. But present regime is so committed to the corporate that it is, therefore people are divided, polarized, religious, communal. All these things are necessary in order to divert the attention of people. But once people come to brass tacks and understand their problem, you can't run with the neoliberalism for too long. That is not possible.
Sir, do you think that the capitalism is going to be down in the 2051?
Capitalism also in America we have seen. In America, what a violence is there. Every day you are hearing that the people are going and shooting down. There is an unemployment in America. It's not that in America, very prosperous country. I was in America, I think also it was Americans. It's a totally, the blacks and the marginalized and Hispanics, those sections and the admin, it's a very big tragedy, but very powerful country. Why do you create a society of that kind? With the violence, with inhumanity, with collapse of values, why do you create a society? But that's why Indian Constitution says, what is the society we should be? This is the greatness of Indian Constitution. It used to have a vision. But the other constitutions don't have a vision. That's the difference. Yeah.
Sir, the scientists and philosophers have said that the system of destroying a country need not be with the arms and ammunition. If you disturb the very pillars of the progressive education system, that suffices to destroy a country. And further, the executives, it is my experience, have become almost the servants of the legislators. With this process, the children of unorganized sectors and rural India are very much deprived of their basic right for education. That is your opinion.
Yeah, that's why I would mention that Mysore University, nothing equals knowledge. Right? School you may ask them to remove it also. That's why if you say, now it becomes a problem. Now the all skill development center are not making this problem. Their problem is knowledge is always frustrated. Knowledge always advances and frustrated. University job is to make the younger generation to ask a fundamental question from Upanishad downwards, from Bhagavad Gita. It all starts with a question. Knowledge always advances with question. Today, they are, for an education which will not ask questions. Because the entire objective type, examination is such a ridiculous examination that I refuse to, because UPSC asked me, I said, I will never associate with this objective type because it's so ridiculous that if you are an examiner, you have to ask a question, 4 alternatives you have to do, 3 wrong alternatives. You have to waste 75 your time of imagining wrong, answer and 1 right answer. What is this type of examination? Why the hell I should waste 75% of my time? Wrong answer. Misleading is question is, inquiry, analysis, logic, sequence, that is knowledge. So the idea is to destroy knowledge system. What you have said is right. Therefore, we have an all India forum for right education. We have a civic education committee in my state. We are continuously reading education. We are all India Yatra. I have come to different parts of India. We are trying to build an education movement. Continuous pressure on the government. It has to be pressure from university, from middle class, but middle class is because most of them are dependent only on the job. We don't have other different resources. We are a little afraid of something happens to my job. What will happen? This year, psychology has seen the university what will happen. So with the result, even though they know that what is happening is wrong, we are not able to ask the question because alternatives available are also very few. If I need to university job, they will very good. What is this is the tragedy and dilemma of the middle class. So the universities are not able to resist the type of there was a time. Opposed the minister of minister Bombay. When the education minister came to University of Hyderabad and wanted some land, 200 acres of land for university. All of us were there and the team. Dr. Mehta was there, Dr. Mehta told minister, we will not give the land. Land is a part of the vision of the society. Land is the landscape. He said land is not just a land, it's a physical land. Land is to provide a horizon for my children, my students. So don't think that we have land and therefore nobody can land. It's in the landscapes and all that. Bombay was so similar. He came to the education sector. He said university is not this part of that. He just came to ask for it. If it does not, we will find some other land. But it's not possible. Universities were able to take that stand. Even during the Vajpayee regime, when they said astrology and all that, academic council said, Vice Chancellor was asking, what should the answer? He said, there are no specialization in astrology, there are no specialists. You don't have, therefore, you will not be able to introduce. In other words, university, even Trump wanted to entertain in Stanford, Harvard, those schools. They resisted. And Trump had to immediately withdraw from that because the universities are hit back very hard. Because those universities have reputation global and those universities have that self-confidence. In our case, what has happened? I never thought our university would fall so easily. But then if you understand the character of the middle class, it's alternatives or very close outside. They are all very hesitant, they are all afraid, and the Vice Chancellor also said that grants won't come, university will suffer, people don't have this. So this is how we have gradually become a bit, subservient. This happened to several years. What I therefore say is that a vibrant university, a highly educated manpower, quality education, and some sort of common school, for children of the even rich people should be educated in my because if a rich boy becomes a doctor, if we educate, society has a moral authority to demand from the doctor to commit such because they are educated. But if they educate themselves, They said we make money because we have educated, we finance our own education. We earn the money. And how can you ask me to go and serve the poor people? What moral authority you and I have as a doctor to say that we have educated you, therefore you serve? So once you commercialize, doctor, engineers make money, you just collapse. They say, I want to know, spend so much of money on engineering education, IAS officer, they are spending on coaching lakhs of rupees. The minute he becomes an IAS officer, he becomes corrupt. Some of the young fellows whom I taught, they were saying, sir, one boy came who got into IAS because I was teaching in the class and saying that moral values are very important. This boy comes and asks me, sir, you give me one alternate. Either I'll take a huge dowry or I'll make money from my job. You give me one option. You are opposed to dowry, you are also opposed to corruption. Give me one option. What is this alternative? Taking dowry or taking money from the job. It's not hesitant. My own student became a teaching of Mega, Tripura. The fellow was dismissed. I feel very sorry that they were our students, but they are saying, sir, the world is different. Not the world that you taught us in the classroom. What can we do? I think, we have to give education, quality education for our children. The rest of it will take care of. And that's why health and education movement in this country are very important.
ಸರ್ ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಅಂತ ಸರ್ ಸಂವಿಧಾನಾತ್ಮಕ ಆಶಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ 75 ವರ್ಷಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲೇನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಬೆಳೆದ ರೈತರಿಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಬೆಲೆ ಸಿಗ್ಬೇಕು ಬೆಳೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಸೊ ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಟೈಮ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಳ ಸಿಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಯಾಯಕ್ಕೊಳಗಾದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಮೂಲಕ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಸಿಗ್ಬೇಕು 75 ವರ್ಷಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಬಟ್ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಕೋರ್ಟೆ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಿಯಂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ನೇ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸೊ ಇದರಿಂದ ಸಂವಿಧಾನಾತ್ಮಕ ಆಶಯಗಳು ಈಡೇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಡೌಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು
No, see, and it just became long, I did want to this entire political debate. When I said collapse of institutions, information commission, election commission, even judiciary. See, what is happening is, as far as judiciary is concerned, it has been perfectly common. Primary function is to go by constitution. Now the neoliberalism and constitutional here don't go together because constitutional written and in context. And therefore they have to interpret the constitution. Now the existing regime, the pressure from the global capital, your judiciary is coming to have a regime and do something about your judiciary. There is a lot of pressure. This regime has committed to the corporate capital. You come and they will in such conditions that nothing will continue. They are arguing that your judiciary is coming in the way. And your judiciary, has become a problem for us. Now the present regime says, some of the judges were very vulnerable. Both chief justices successfully were completely pro-government. Suddenly now the judges started coming. Next to 2 judges and the present chief justice, they are completely independent. Now the government in India feels, see, the fellows are going to the next 6-7 years. What are we going to do? Because they are going on striking off the order. And they are not listening completely. Although they are still, more responsive to government, but they are not going to listen to everything. Some of the things are striking off. Now they say that judiciary, the one way of controlling judiciary, even now the government has a role in appointing judges. Right? I mean, not that the government doesn't have it, but what they want is their nominee in the position. So that the nominee, what all he will do is he will put some names. Here he will put some names. The other judges also may put some names, so they will send a list. all the names that this government nominee suggests here will be approved by the governors. So that's how they want to smuggle people who are more viable, are more vulnerable than the independent judges. Like, Justice Chandrachud, father was a chief justice, he had some friends in the PhD from Harvard, the static constitution. So they are independent. Whereas Gogai, first the company tried to know about Gogai, what these steps have also have done is, they have collected all the record, from the shared book. Some of the judges, one judge understand, this year the lady lawyer, the lawyer from 30 years back. There is a FIR pending in one of the police stations. They dug up and told this judge, this information is with us. That's why now the government is saying this CBI IP information, which we are using in appointment of judges, you have leaked it out. You have leaked it out. It's sensitive. These organizations are very important. The national security. Why did you tell what is these fellows reported all of these things? What is there to know? What is transgender? Somebody knows has done something. This all information which has come from information intelligence people. Supreme Court is saying well, intelligence fellows may report all sorts of things. Because if you see the intelligence reports on Gandhi during British period, so you will be stunned that intelligence the use of advanced intelligence report is they said Gandhi is a rabble rouser. This fellow is thoroughly corrupt. He's a womanizer. The womanizer Gandhi. And therefore they said that something should be done to this fellow. Because this fellow is they depicted Gandhi's image such a horrendous way. Moral, womanizer. See, rabble rouser. This is the type of intelligence. Some people, they write this particular thing, lawyer, this and you go by that, and you go disqualify him because he can do it fellow. Imagine what happens to the judiciary. So this struggle between the judiciary and the executive is the struggle of the institution, trying to survive. Judiciary as an institution is fighting for survival and government is trying for this country. Partly because of the model of the government. The constitution is coming in the way. And the only institution which interprets the constitution is the constitution. That's why in the judiciary is a little more vulnerable. They think they can push the model of the government too fast. It's a question of the major contradiction. So let us see that how it will be resolved.
Sir, you brought out beautifully the constitutional vision, Ambedkar's Nehruvian vision, and the transformation it has seen over 75 years. Thank you, sir, for the beautiful narration of the struggles of our constitution and its vision during the 75 years. And ultimately, you seems to focus that the constitutionalism is challenged by neoliberalism. Constitutional vision is challenged by neoliberalism. Can I submit that it is not simply neoliberalism? Because of the information revolution that has occurred in the world, each group, each caste, each religion, each region is so much aware, and its own identity issues are so important. And especially in India, it is religious nationalism hand in hand with neoliberalism. Politically support religious nationalism supporting political neoliberalism, neoliberalism financing the religious nationalism. It is this, isn't it? This danger more important, and I request you how to combat it. How to combat it in my request.
Normally, I bring that cultural variable because you see, if you look at the entry of neoliberalism and Ram Janmabhoomi, See, there is a one-to-one relation. If you're not in education, right? We grow because see, religion, then we have some has religion. Because are religious, but they are there. But capitalism is a religion because the religion is the only instrument through which inequalities can be justified. The religion has different interpretation. But what they have done is they pushed religion into private domain. Now please pray God and God to give the all that they do. But they have somehow they have seen that religion which was playing a critical role prior to French national French Revolution. Religion was directly controlling universities. Go to Uppsala University, huge church. I said, why there was such a huge church right on the campus? They said, church was controlling the university, running the university. So university is fought against the church. The church goes by belief, whereas no, university goes by reason. So they gradually they got out of church, out of faith, partly out of market. Today in India, the religion then the market and the state. What are the control? Want to control industry say what are we? So industry university collaboration and all that. You don't produce only for employment industry. University produces a good human mind. That good human mind is used for any place. A good human mind in engineering, good human mind in I always give the example of my friend Bhargopal. Bhargopal was PhD in mathematics. But he left mathematics. He became a literary critic, first rate literary. Then he became a social analyst. He was a cricket player, opening batsman. Then he became a lawyer, first rate lawyer. He never lost a case. From mathematics to literary, social analysis to civil liberties activists to cricket. Then he became a lawyer. That means it's a good mind. Society will find the society will be very vibrant. What is happening in our case? The education means they are now saying whether it will be useful to me or not. Very utilitarian view of education. So social sciences, now they are saying what is use of social science, all asking questions and it is so better view of social science. Humanities, only science, engineering, all IAS, you will be surprised, 90% of IAS people today, 90% are engineers. What did these engineers know? Nothing. Nothing about society now. That they may know something about the technology and all that. But in our Master in Public Policy, Bangalore National Law School, lot of IITians joined, lot of engineers joined. After my 5-10 classes on political economy, they come and touch us. Sir, this word is not known to us. Nobody told us these things. My God, society understands so complex. See, what has happened? Peer pressure, engineer or doctor. And there are doctors also in class. 2 girls who are practicing medicine left. I asked them, why have you come? They are doctors. What they say is, sir, prices of drugs are going down. You need huge technology for detection, for this whole thing for you. You have to go for diagnosis. We want something to happen to poor people, some no poor. They are saying, sir, after this master course, we will become health journalists and educate the society. Imagine what's happening to everything. So, this whole, whereas in America, before you become a medical doctor, 4 years social science compulsory, 4 years. You have to do sociology, political science, some course. After that, you are admitted in Harvard, Stanford, to a medical school. Complete graduation, come and join the medicine. In our case, straight from the intermediate, they go for engineering education. Of course, that education our children can't afford. 4 years, no 6 years, they can't afford. But what I'm saying is, there is no social science component. Not only component, but they are saying social sciences themselves are irrelevant. No financing and all that. So I think you are right that unless you only it's that way. Right? What has happened is culture. which has entered into politics. Gandhi said, take religion into politics so that you can bring moral values into politics. Now they have taken politics into religion and they are destroying religion. This is what happened. Now they need religion to polarize, to divert the attention of the people. So I am angry, but my anger is against Muslim for no reason. Now I'll give one example. One of my colleagues was a molecular biologist. He used to go on a van every day. One day he was narrating in Nagarjuna University. The Kamma community harassing him, humiliating him, into promotion, all sorts of things. So he was telling them. So that's why I left Nagarjuna, joined University of Hyderabad. After 10 minutes, the discussion changed. And he's telling me, Hargopalji, if only Muslims have left this country during partition, this nation would have been very peaceful. And I told him, Murthy, Kammas harass you, not Muslims. If all Muslims had gone, Kammas would have been there. No Muslim harassing you. Your persons who harass you are one community, the blame you are saying, if they had gone, you would have been happy. How do you correlate? In last UK election, when the TV channel was asking somebody, the boy was telling, I'm unemployed, there's poverty, my parents are suffering, all that he said, I have no employment. Then this fellow asked, whom are you voting? He said, I vote for BJP. But BJP is anywhere ruling your state, and but you say you have so many problems. He said, Taliban have come to power in Afghanistan. What has Taliban coming into Afghanistan have to do with India? But this is the causal construction. So I think what Paulo Freire said, we entered into a semi-transitive way, semi-conscious, not that totally we are unconscious like the medieval period. Now we are totally conscious, understanding my own life experience and the cause of my life experience. My life experience is different, the cause that I am looking is different. I am unhappy, but I think that for my unhappiness, Buddha said your wants and all that. But now they think Muslim is responsible for your suffering. This I think they are very successfully converted anger into against another community. Not one caste against another caste, one religion against another religion. I think this is what is happening. Unless people critically understand that I am unemployed because market, there is some structure of economy, government policies, not Taliban, not Afghanistan, they have nothing to do with us. Then I think people will ask the political system that please address the real questions, not this question. Once people start asking, political culture has to change. Politics of the country have to change. But till then, I think our role is to raise the consciousness of people. That's what the teachers want to do.
Yes, good afternoon, all of you. Actually, I have some good news, which University of Mysore did for our monastery, because they provide special course for us. It is the new thing for all of the we have big monastery. We studied more than 23 years about the disease of, but we didn't get recognized in India. Last 16 years we started. Previous Vice Chancellor and now we are Vice Chancellor, we meet last time. They provide us a special for being honest with this philosophy, ancient psychology, and Tibetan language. So this is very good news to us. Also, this is very big picture of this holidays. So I would like to thank all the university members. They keep up on us other universities near the monastery. There is such a thing like that. So I just thank you, Minister of myself, in the presence of our Chancellor. And second, actually, I have my own NGO. It's a very small NGO. And our NGO take care about the health education. That is why I want to ask you, I consult today I am not in Indian student, but I consult what is the biggest issue in India. Because health education comes to the commercial or business high level, then human will be reduced. 100% better. What is the solution for this? This is my question.
See, the question you raised about debates and all that. See, these questions are not only confined to debate in general.
No, sir. My question is, now, especially the problem of the education system is with high start for professionals and students. Also, they take a very huge donation. So the solution, what I suggest you, you can have a new policy which can not only the paper, which will be practical policy, that is the only solution what I give. Because, for example, if you go for the one nursing, they have to donate it more than 100 additional fees, like that they is it. For example, if you go for the private hospital, what is its market fee? The government should take a rules and regulation where practically in a benefit, if you have a benefit, also patients should be benefit because we need a service. That rules and regulations in a practical way, not one of the paper. I think this is the only solution. There is no need to do all the things. We have a women because we say that we can have capabilities, we can afford as a women. So that is why it is possible or not.
But you see, you need a vision, na? You need a vision. Even to have a practical, what you are emphasizing, that you need to be guided. Now, as a Buddhist, you know, Buddha gave us certain tenets, right? And we practice based on that. So the practicality also is certain, norms, certain, standards, certain tenets, So Constitution of India also has certain, normative standards. As like every religion has, only in the case of Hinduism, our problem is because of our caste system. The religion sanctifies it. So with the result, what happened? The Baba Sahib wanted annihilation of the caste. He said caste would go. If caste goes, there is a greater harmony in the society, greater equality, greater unity in the society, and struggle of the people can be much more united. So, but what caste has done is, it in a way hierarchicals. So one dominates the other, there is a hierarchy of dominance. And unfortunately, if I have somebody to dominate, I'm very happy because there is somebody to dominate. But at the same time, I'm questioning the person above that who are you to dominate me? In India, these two things are happening. I'm questioning dominance of the caste above, I'm dominating the caste below. So we are democratic, we are becoming democratic, we are becoming authoritarian. The present politics are rooted that authoritarian patterns. The future of democracy depends on the question. So what succeeds, we have to wait and see.
Thank you, Dr. Bhanda. Now, it's our privilege to call Professor H. Rajshekar, Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Mysuru, for his special address. Sir, please.
ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ 74ನೇ ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸವ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು. ವೇದಿಕೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಸೀನರಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಹಿರಿಯ ರಾಜ್ಯಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ತಜ್ಞರು ಹಾಗೂ ಮಾನವ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳ ಹೋರಾಟಗಾರರು ಆದಂತಹ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಹರಗೋಪಾಲ್ ಅವರೇ, ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ನಿರ್ದೇಶಕರಾದ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಎಸ್ ನರೇಂದ್ರ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರೇ, ವೇದಿಕೆಯ ಮೇಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಈ ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕರಾದ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಸೋಮಶೇಖರ್ ಅವರೇ, ಹಾಗೂ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ತಿಳಿದಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯದ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಹಿರಿಯ ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕರಾಗಿದ್ದಂತಹ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಇಂದಿರಾ ಅವರೇ ಹಾಗೂ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಉಮಾಪತಿ ಅವರೇ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿರುವಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕ ಮಿತ್ರರೇ, ಸಂಶೋಧಕರೇ, ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಮಿತ್ರರೇ ಹಾಗೂ ಈ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮ ಮಿತ್ರರು ಏನಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇವರು ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದ ಅಂಗ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. ಏಕೆಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಇಷ್ಟೋ ತನಕ ಹರಗೋಪಾಲ್ ಅವರು ಮಾತಾಡುವಾಗ ಈ ಜರ್ನಲಿಸಮ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ನಮ್ಮ ಸೊಸೈಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ನ ಸ್ಪಾಯಿಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಥವಾ ಎಜುಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಸವಿಸ್ತರವಾಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದ ಅಂಗ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಲ್ಲೆ. ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕೇಳಿದೀವಿ. ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಏನಿದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ತಳಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಂವಿಧಾನವನ್ನ ಬೇರೆ ತರ ಅದನ್ನ ಇಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬೇರೆ ಒಂದು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇದರಿಂದ ಆಗುವಂತಹ ಅನಾಹುತಗಳೇನು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಸವಿಸ್ತರವಾಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಹರಗೋಪಾಲ್ ಅವರು ನಮಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಭಾರತ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರಿಂದ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಪಡೆದು ತನ್ನ ಆಡಳಿತವನ್ನು ತಾನೇ ನಡೆಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ರೂಪುಗೊಂಡಿರುವಂತಹ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ 1947ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಸಿಕ್ತು. ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಸಿಕ್ಕ ಮೇಲೆ ಮುಂದಿನ 3 ವರ್ಷ ಏನಾಯಿತು ಅನ್ನೋದು ತಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. 47ರಿಂದ 1950ವರೆಗೆ some sort of anarchy in leading the country, in leading the system. So ಇದನ್ನ ಮನಗಂಡು ಅಂದಿನ ಜನ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಾಬಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರ ನೇತೃತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಕಮಿಟಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾದರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ನಡೆಸಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಡ್ರಾಫ್ಟ್ ನ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ ಇತರ ಮಿತ್ರರೊಂದಿಗೆ 1950ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಒಂದು ಸಂಭ್ರಮದ ಶುರುವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಈ ಒಂದು ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸವವನ್ನ ಆಚರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ 75 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಈ ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸವದ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಆದ್ರೂ ಸಹ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಕೊರತೆಗಳು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಮಿಸ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿಟೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅದ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಒಂದು ಅಂಗಗಳಿದೆ. ಒಂದು ಈ ಜುಡಿಷಿಯರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅನ್ನೋದಿದೆ, ಒಂದು ಶಾಸಕಾಂಗ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಈ ಪತ್ರಿಕಾ ಒಂದು ಅಂಗ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಈ ತರ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಅಂಗಗಳಿದೆ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಅಂಗಗಳು ತಮ್ಮಲ್ಲೇ ಒಂದು ಭಿನ್ನಾಭಿಪ್ರಾಯದಿಂದ ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವೇನೋ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಅನಿಸಿಕೆ. ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಸೆಲೆಬ್ರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದೆ. ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇದ್ರ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಏನು, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಗುಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಏನು, ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾಜ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ನಮಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಮೇ ಬಿ ಫಾರ್ ವುಮನ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಕೆಲವು ಅನಿಷ್ಟಗಳನ್ನ ತೊಡಗಿಸ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಈಗಿನ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಲಿಂಕ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟು ಒಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲೇ ಇರುವಂತಹ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುವಂತಹ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳು ಸಹ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಸಹ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ, ಪ್ರತಿ ದಿನ, ಪ್ರತಿ ತಿಂಗಳು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಕೊರತೆಗಳು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದಿರುವಂತಹ ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಮುಂದಿನ ಭವಿಷ್ಯದ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ತರ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ನಾವು ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಏನಿದೆಯೋ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬದುಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಬಹಳ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ. ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಒಂದು ಸಮಾಜದ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಎಥಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬದುಕಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವು ಆ ಮಹಾನ್ ಭಾವರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಅರ್ಥದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಮುಂದಿನ ಬದುಕಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನ್ನ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ. ಸೊ ಈ ದಿಕ್ಕಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸಗಳು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಆದ್ರೂ ಸಹ ಸಾಕಾಗ್ದು. ನಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಒಂದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ 9, 1946 ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಸಭೆಯನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಸಂವಿಧಾನವನ್ನು ರಚಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲು 2 ವರ್ಷ 11 ತಿಂಗಳು 17 ದಿನಗಳನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳಲಾಯಿತು ಎಂದು ಸ್ವತಃ ಬಾಬಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಒಂದು ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಕಮಿಟಿ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು 4 ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ಕಮಿಟಿ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ ಈಗಿನ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಇದು 2 ವರ್ಷ 11 ತಿಂಗಳು, ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ 3 ವರ್ಷ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನೇ ಅದು ಕುಡಿದು ಈ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಅನಿಷ್ಟಗಳೇನು, ಇನ್ಇಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ದೀನರು, ದಲಿತರು ಅವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ನಡ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಜನ ತಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಸಂಪತ್ತನ್ನು ಯಾವ ತರ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿ 3 ವರ್ಷ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಬರೆದಂತಹ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪವಿತ್ರವಾದ ಗ್ರಂಥವನ್ನ ಓದಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯ. ತಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಈ ಒಟ್ಟು ಕಾಲಾವಧಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 2 ವರ್ಷ 11 ತಿಂಗಳು 17 ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಟ್ಟು 11 ಸಭೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 11 ಸಭೆಯನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಿ ಬರೆದಂತಹ ಈ ಒಂದು ಮಹಾನ್ ಗ್ರಂಥ ಈ ನಮ್ಮ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನ ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಹೇಗೆ ನಡೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಸವಿಸ್ತರವಾಗಿ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ. ಈ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಸಭೆಯ ಕರಡು ರಚನಾ ಸಮಿತಿಯನ್ನು 29 ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ 1947 ಚುನಾಯಿಸಿತು. ಈ ಸಮಿತಿಯು ತನ್ನ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಸಭೆಯನ್ನು ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ 31 ನಡೆಸಿ ಆ ತರುವಾಯ ಕರಡು ಸಂವಿಧಾನವನ್ನು ರಚಿಸಲು 141 ದಿನ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಸಲಹೆಗಾರರು ಕರಡು ರಚನಾ ಸಮಿತಿಗೆ ಸಿದ್ಧಪಡಿಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟ ಕರಡು ಸಂವಿಧಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಟ್ಟು 243 ವಿಧಿಗಳು ಮತ್ತು 13 ಅನುಸೂಚಿಗಳು ಇದ್ದವು. ಅಖೈರಾಗಿ ಪರಿಶೀಲಿಸಿದ ತರುವಾಯ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದಲ್ಲಿನ ವಿಧಿಗಳ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ 386ಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತಿಮವಾಗಿ ರೂಪುಗೊಳ್ಳುವ ಹೊತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 395 ವಿಧಿಗಳು 8 ಅನುಸೂಚಿಗಳು ಇದ್ದವು ಎಂದು ತಿಳಿದು ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಕರಡು ಸಂವಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಾಸ್ತಾವಿಕ ತಕ್ಕ ತಿದ್ದುಪಡಿಗಳ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಸುಮಾರು 7635 ತಿದ್ದುಪಡಿಗಳನ್ನು ಪಟ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡಲಾಯಿತು. ಇವುಗಳ ಪೈಕಿ 2473 ತಿದ್ದುಪಡಿಗಳನ್ನು ವಾಸ್ತವವಾಗಿ ಸದನದ ಮುಂದೆ ಚರ್ಚೆಗೆ ಒಪ್ಪಿಸಲಾಯಿತು. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಿಸಿ ರಚಿತವಾಗಿರುವ ಸಂವಿಧಾನವನ್ನು ಅಂಗೀಕರಿಸಿದ ದಿನ ಇದಾಗಿದೆ. ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರದ ಅಮೃತ ಮಹೋತ್ಸವ ಕಾಲಘಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾರತವು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಬಲ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರವಾಗಿ ಹೊರಹೊಮ್ಮಲು ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗಿದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾರತದ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ. ಭಾರತದಂತಹ ವೈವಿಧ್ಯಗಳ ಹೊಂದಿರುವ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸಮುದಾಯಗಳ ಒಳಗೊಳ್ಳುವಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಖಾತರಿಪಡಿಸುವ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ನಮ್ಮದಾಗಿದೆ. ಇಂತಹ ಮಹತ್ವದ ಸಂವಿಧಾನವನ್ನು ರಚಿಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವುದಕ್ಕಾಗಿಯೇ ಜಗತ್ತು ಬಾಬಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರನ್ನು ವಿಶ್ವ ಜ್ಞಾನಿ ಎಂದು ಕರೆದಿದೆ. ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ರಚನಾ ಸಭೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋರಾಟಗಾರರು, ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಮುತ್ಸದ್ದಿಗಳು, ಕಾನೂನು ಪಂಡಿತರು, ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ತಜ್ಞರು ಇವರೆಲ್ಲರೊಂದಿಗೂ ಅವರು ನಡೆಸಿದ ಚರ್ಚೆಗಳು ಮಹತ್ವವನ್ನು ಪಡೆದುಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಸರ್ವೋಚ್ಚ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಲಯ ತನ್ನ ಅನೇಕ ತೀರ್ಪುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇವುಗಳನ್ನು ಉಲ್ಲೇಖಿಸಿ ತೀರ್ಪುಗಳನ್ನು ನೀಡಿದೆ. ಭಾರತದ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ, ಸಮಾನತೆ, ಸೋದರತ್ವ, ನ್ಯಾಯವನ್ನು ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ಭಾರತೀಯನಿಗೆ ನೀಡಿದೆ. ಇದು ಭಾರತದ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಬಹುದೊಡ್ಡ ಶಕ್ತಿಯಾಗಿದೆ. ಏಕೆಂದರೆ ಅಸಮಾನತೆ, ತಾರತಮ್ಯ, ಶೋಷಣೆ, ದೌರ್ಜನ್ಯ ಇವುಗಳಿಂದ ಕೂಡಿದ ಸಮಾಜವನ್ನು ಆದರ್ಶ ಸಮಾಜವಾಗಿ ಪರಿವರ್ತಿಸುವುದೇ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಕರ್ತರ ಆಶಯವಾಗಿದೆ. ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಠಿಣ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯನ್ನು ಎದುರಿಸುವ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಎಂದು ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ನೀಡಿದೆ. ಯುದ್ಧವಿರಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಆಂತರಿಕ ಸಂಘರ್ಷಗಳಿರಲಿ, ಇವೆಲ್ಲವುಗಳನ್ನು ಮೆಟ್ಟಿ ನಿಲ್ಲುವ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಭಾರತೀಯರಿಗೆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ನೀಡಿದೆ. ನಾವು ಇಂದು ಜಗತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿಯೇ ಅತಿ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವದ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರವಾಗಿ ನಿಂತಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಜಾಗತಿಕ ನಾಯಕರುಗಳು ಭಾರತದ ನಾಯಕತ್ವವನ್ನು ಗೌರವಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮನ್ನಣೆಯನ್ನು ನೀಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗಿಸಿದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ. ನವೆಂಬರ್ 25, 1949ರಂದು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಾಬಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರು ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ರಚನಾ ಸಭೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ ಕೊನೆಯ ಭಾಷಣವನ್ನು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಗಂಭೀರವಾಗಿ ಪರಿಗಣಿಸಬೇಕು. ಈ ಭಾಷಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಚೀನ ಭಾರತದಿಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು ಇಂದಿನ ಭಾರತದವರೆಗೆ ಭಾರತ ನಡೆದು ಇವರ ಹಾದಿಯನ್ನು ಎಳೆಯಾಗಿ ತಿಳಿಸುವ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅವರು ನೀಡಿರುವ ಎಚ್ಚರಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ಭಾರತೀಯರು ಅರಿಯಬೇಕಿದೆ. ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿರುವ "We are going to enter into a life contradictions" ಎಂಬ ಮಾತುಗಳಿಗೆ ಘನ ಸರ್ಕಾರಗಳು ತಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ಭಾರತದ ವೈರುಧ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ಹೋಗಲಾಡಿಸುವ ಉತ್ತರಗಳನ್ನು ನೀಡಬೇಕೆಂಬುದೇ ಇದರ ಅರ್ಥ. ಇದಕ್ಕಾಗಿಯೇ ಬಾಬಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ ಅವರು ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಮತ್ತು ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವವನ್ನು ಪ್ರತಿಪಾದಿಸಿದರು. ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಪ್ರಭುತ್ವವಾದ ಒನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್, ಒನ್ ವೋಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಮತ್ತು ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವಗಳಾಗಿ ಪರಿವರ್ತನೆಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಪರಿವರ್ತನೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಪ್ರಾಚೀನ ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಬುದ್ಧರ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದ ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಪ್ರಭುತ್ವವನ್ನು ಅನುಭವಿಸಿದ ಭಾರತವು ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವದ ತಾಯ್ನಾಡು. ಆದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಂತರಿಕ ವೈರುಧ್ಯಗಳಿಂದ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವವನ್ನು ಕಳೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳಲಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಅದನ್ನು ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಮೂಲಕ ಮರಳಿ ಸ್ಥಾಪಿಸಲಾಗಿದೆ ಎಂದು ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕೇಂದ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ದಿನದ ಅಂಗವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷದಂತೆ ಈ ವರ್ಷ 75 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂವಿಧಾನಿಕವಾದ ನಡೆ ಕುರಿತು ವಿಶೇಷ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸ ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಳ್ಳಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ, ಸಮಾನತೆ ಮತ್ತು ಸೋದರತ್ವಗಳನ್ನು ಸ್ಥಾಪಿಸಲು ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವದ ಮೂಲಕ ನಾವು ಕ್ರಮಿಸಿರುವ ಹಾದಿಯನ್ನು ಆಧರಿಸಿ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಅವಲೋಕನ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣವಾಗುವಂತಹ ಈ ದಿನವನ್ನು ನಾನು ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಗೌರವಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಪ್ರಾಚೀನ ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಹರಡಿದ ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯವನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮಗಳ ವೈರುಧ್ಯಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ಕಳೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಅದನ್ನು ಮರಳಿ ಸ್ಥಾಪಿಸಿರುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಧ್ಯಕಾಲದ ಯುಗದಿಂದ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ ಯುಗದವರೆಗೂ ಅವಿರತವಾದ ಹೋರಾಟಗಳನ್ನು ಕಂಡಿರುವ ಚಾರಿತ್ರಿಕ ದೇಶ ನಮ್ಮದು. ಇದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಅನೇಕ ತ್ಯಾಗ, ಬಲಿದಾನಗಳು, ಆಂದೋಲನಗಳು ನಡೆದಿರುವುದು ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ತಿಳಿದಿರುವ ವಿಷಯ ಆಗಿದೆ. ನವಭಾರತದ ಚರಿತ್ರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯದ ದಿನ ನವಚರಿತ್ರೆಯನ್ನೇ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಆಶಯಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಸುವ ದಿನವನ್ನಾಗಿ ಆರಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಭಾರತದಂತಹ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನೂ ಒಗ್ಗೂಡಿಸುವ ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಮೂಲಕ ದೊರಕಿಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಕರ್ತರೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಾವು ಗೌರವಿಸಿ ಸ್ಮರಿಸಬೇಕಿದೆ. ಒಡೆದು ಸೀಳಾಗಿದ್ದ ಭಾರತ ಮತ್ತು ಭಾರತೀಯರನ್ನು ಭಾರತ ಸಂವಿಧಾನವು ಒಂದುಗೂಡಿಸಿ. ಬಾಬಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರ ದೂರದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಇದು ಸತ್ಯವಾಗಿದೆ. ದೇಶದ ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯನ್ನು, ಶಾಂತಿಯನ್ನು, ಅಹಿಂಸೆಯನ್ನು ಬುದ್ಧ ಗುರುವಿನ ಚಿಂತನೆಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾವನೆಯೇ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಬದುಕಿನ ಮಾರ್ಗವಾಗಿದೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥೈಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಳವಡಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯದ ಮಹತ್ವ ಹೆಚ್ಚುತ್ತದೆ. ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯದ ಆಶಯವೇ ಜನಸಾಮಾನ್ಯರ ಆಶೋತ್ತರಗಳ ವೇದಿಕೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ಪ್ರಭುತ್ವ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಜೆಗಳ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗಿಸಬೇಕಿದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಮಾನತೆಯಿಂದ ಕರುಣೆಯಿಂದ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ತಾನಾಗಿಯೇ ವಿಸ್ತಾರಗೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತದೆ. ಸಂವಿಧಾನಿಕ ಜೀವನ ಮಾನವನ ವಿಕಾಸಕ್ಕಾಗಿ, ನಾಗರಿಕತೆಯ ಅಭ್ಯುದಯಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇಂದು ಭಾರತ ತನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ರಂಗದಲ್ಲೂ ಸಾಧನೆಗೈದಿದೆ. ಅನಕ್ಷರತೆಯ ಭಾರತ ವಿಶ್ವವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿಯ ಭಾರತವಾಗಿದೆ. ಕೃಷಿ ಅವಲಂಬಿತ ಭಾರತ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಭಾರತವಾಗಿದೆ. ಜಾಗತಿಕ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಅತಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಮಾನವ ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರುವ ದೇಶವಾಗಿದೆ. ನೈಸರ್ಗಿಕ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲಗಳ ಸದ್ಬಳಕೆಯ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರವಾಗಿದೆ. ಗ್ರಾಮೀಣ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿ ಮತ್ತು ನಗರ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಯನ್ನು ಗಣನೀಯವಾಗಿ ಸಾಧಿಸಿದ ಮೆಚ್ಚುಗೆಗೆ ಪಾತ್ರವಾಗಿದೆ ಭಾರತ. ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಸಹಾಯವನ್ನು ಬಯಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದ ಭಾರತ ಇಂದು ಬೇರೆ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡುವ ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿದೆ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಸಂವಿಧಾನದ ಮೂಲಕ ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯದ ಆಶಯಗಳನ್ನು ಸಾಧಿಸಲು ಸಾಧನವಾಗಿದೆ. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾರಣಗಳಿಗಾಗಿ ಭಾರತವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮೆಚ್ಚಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತು ಗೌರವಿಸಬೇಕು. ಆದರೂ ವೈರುಧ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ತೊಡೆದು ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೇವೆಯೇ ಎಂದು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ವೈರುಧ್ಯಗಳ ಪಟ್ಟಿ ಮತ್ತಷ್ಟು ಕಡಿಮೆಗೊಳ್ಳಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಎಂದೆನಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. ಮೈಸೂರು ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷದಂತೆ ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯದ ವಿಶೇಷ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸವನ್ನು ಪ್ರಖ್ಯಾತ ವಿದ್ವಾಂಸರುಗಳಾದ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಏರ್ಪಡಿಸುತ್ತಾ ಬರುವ ಮೂಲಕ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ, ಸಂಶೋಧಕರುಗಳಿಗೆ, ಅಧ್ಯಾಪಕ ಮತ್ತು ಅಧ್ಯಾಪಕೇತರಗಳಿಗೆ ಭಾರತದ ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯದ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆಯನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥೈಸುವ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಜೆಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ಅಧಿಕಾರವನ್ನು ಚರ್ಚಿಸುವ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವ ಮೂಲಕ ಅರ್ಥಪೂರ್ಣವಾದ ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸವ ಆಚರಣೆಗೆ ಮೈಸೂರು ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯ ಮೌಲ್ಯಯುತವಾದ ಕಾರ್ಯವನ್ನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿದೆ. ಇಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ನಡುವೆ ಇರುವ ಹಿರಿಯ ಸಮಾಜಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಜ್ಞರು, ಮಾನವ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳ ಹೋರಾಟಗಾರರು ಮತ್ತು ಸರ್ಕಾರಗಳಿಗೆ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶಕರು ಹಾಗೂ ನೀತಿ ರೂಪಿಸುವಲ್ಲಿ ಸಲಹೆ ಸಹಕಾರವನ್ನು ನೀಡುತ್ತಾ ಬಂದಿರುವ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಹರಗೋಪಾಲ್ ಅವರ ವಿದ್ವತ್ವಪೂರ್ಣ ಮಾತುಗಳು ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಕೋನವನ್ನು ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯದ ಪರಿಕಲ್ಪನೆಯ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಸದೃಢವಾದ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಗಳನ್ನು ಇಡಲು ಅನುವು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡುತ್ತದೆ ಎಂದು ನಾನು ಭಾವಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಸರ್, my sincere request is, if you are able to give your speech in writing, definitely we are going to print it and try to publicize your speech in our university system. Such a wonderful presentation of your, okay, because we feel very happy about how deeply you understand what you call the Constitution and how this is being what you call manipulated and how problems are being created in the system. So eloquently you have brought out through your speech. So if you are able to give the speech in print form, definitely we are going to publicize it in our university system, because we have a press system here, Prasaranga here. We are going to use your value systems in the democracy. So, anyway, I must congratulate all of you, because you got an opportunity to listen to such a wonderful speech given by Professor Hargopal on the occasion of this 74th Republic Day celebrations. For this, I must also thank the director of this center, Professor Somshekar sir, Professor Narendra Kumar, for their in-depth interest in the subject, and also always they think about the pro-development of this center. I never knew about the arrangements here, the infrastructure created here, but now I have seen everything, and also assured that if any additional facilities are required for this center, definitely I am going to mention and assure them immediately. On the spot, I spoke with our engineers and told them to take immediate action to complete whatever pending works are here in the center in order to facilitate their furtherance work in the field of Ambedkar studies. So with these few words, I thank the organizer for giving me this opportunity to stand in front of you and speak some words, and also listen to this wonderful presentation on Constitution on the occasion of this 74th Republic Day. Once again, I wish you very, very warm and very sweet memories of this Republic Day celebrations. Thank you.
ಇಂತಹ ಚಾರಿತ್ರಿಕ ಮಹತ್ವವುಳ್ಳ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಿದಂತ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಎಚ್ ರಾಜಶೇಖರ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಸಂವಿಧಾನವು ಕೇವಲ ವಕೀಲರ ದಾಖಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಜೀವನದ ವಾಹನವಾಗಿದೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅದರ ಆತ್ಮವು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ವಯಸ್ಸಿನ ಆತ್ಮವಾಗಿದೆ ಎನ್ನುವ ಮಾತನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಈಗ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಅಂತಿಮ ಘಟ್ಟ. ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಅತಿಥಿ ಗಣ್ಯರನ್ನ ವಂದಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಯೋಗೇಶ್ ಎಂ.ಎನ್. ಅವರ ವೇದಿಕೆ ಬರಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Good afternoon, everyone here. First of all, I wish you happy Republic Day to one and all present here. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Research and Extension Center, Manasargotri, hosting a special lecture, Constitutionalism, 75 years of independence on the occasion of 74th Republic Day. And now we are in the last stage of the program, that is word of thanks. It is my privilege to propose a vote of thanks who really worked to make this event possible. Today we had an opportunity to hear a good thoughts, real facts and valuable words from our chief guest, Professor Hargopal sir. Sir, thank you so much on behalf of Ambedkar Center and Mysore University for your words that are closer to truth, and thank you so much, sir. Then I would like to thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Rajshekhar sir. Sir, thank you so much on behalf of Ambedkar Center and Mysore University for your presidential address, sir. And I would like to senior Professor Indra Madam, visiting Professor of Ambedkar Center. Ma'am, thank you so much. And I would like to thanks to Professor S. Narendra Kumar, Director, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Center, Manasargotri, Mysuru. Sir, thank you so much for making this event grand success and gracefully, sir. And now I would like to thank to Professor J. Shobhekar sir. Sir, thank you so much for organizing this event gracefully, sir. And now I would like to thanks to respected professors, lecturers, research scholars, students, and from various departments and anchors, and media and police department. Once again, thank you one and all. Okay, thank you so much.